Hey everyone, Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. We're back with another Monday Market Report episode for the week ending July 7, 2024. We're going to take a look at some of the recent completed market activity on greatcollections.com. They are one of the premier auction sites today for anything coins, currency, and everything else. So I want to thank you guys for tuning on in on this video, where we take a look at the market at a glance by using the last 7 days of realized market activity. Now, normally we take a look at coins of the modern age. Okay, so anything from the year 1900 all the way up to the current date. The reason being is that if this particular date range of coins are performing very well and there's a lot of people that are interested in them, you could make the assumption or the argument that the whole entire market is doing really well right now. Now, with the price of precious metals and things like that, they are having a little bit of a push-pull effect on the overall numismatics market. That's the good news. The bad news is a lot of these coins are exiting the market at record high prices. And once they're gone, they're gone. There hasn't been a whole lot of duplicates that we've seen over the course of the last 6 to 12 months. And this is a really telling sign that people are just simply enjoying the hobby. They might have deep pockets, they might be doing registry sets, but for the most part, the market is performing absolutely amazing for this time of year. Now, during the summer, some would speculate that the market cools off a little bit, just because of that effect of people going out and vacationing and taking time off from the hobby. Now, a lot of the purist numismatist collectors at large and even the registry set folks, they don't take any time off at all. The market will continue to perform as if nothing happened. Even in the middle of the summertime, just the activity that we've seen here in the last 7 days has been a very atypical kind of fashion where there's a lot of overperforming coins. And you're going to see that here today where we have a fair amount of coins hitting 5 digits, if not larger than that. So I'm happy to talk about that here today. So, thank you guys for tuning in on the MMR, and again, for July 7th. All right, well, as you guys know, I do sell on the platform Whatnot, and I usually like to throw out a little bit of a bulletin. We have one show this week. Summertime, I usually, kind of take it easy on the overall activity, not only on YouTube, but over also on Whatnot and eBay and things like that. So we do have one show this coming Friday. It's called the Midsummer's Night US Type Showcase. A great auction that's going to showcase a lot of really nice pieces, both raw and graded. So that's going to be this coming Friday, July 12th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're new to the platform, come sign up. I got my referral link down below in the description box, and it'll also be pasted onto the comment section as well. You will earn $15 in credit that you could use to buy anything that you want, not only from me, but everyone else. Some people don't collect just coins, but there's also sports cards, there's also memorabilia, there's also sneakers and high-end goods as well that you're going to be able to save some money on. $15 will go a long way toward that piece of silver or a type coin or anything your heart desires. But come check us out. It's one of the hottest growing platforms on auction, on the fly auction services that you will ever see, and I'm glad to be a big part of it. So come check us out. We will be live this Friday. We're gonna have a great show. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in with the selections. So we have quite an amount of coins. We got 22 total coins to talk about, starting with the 1982 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is the large date copper coated zinc composition coin. Now, as you guys know, there's 7 different variants of a 1982, both P and D. Collectively, has a bunch of weird kind of like small date, large date, copper plated zinc, you name it. Registry set folks don't care. They want one of each in the highest grade possible. We have this one here in a mid-state 68 plus full red by PCGS as well. And we're going to kick things off here with this one at $1,431. Great to see, although I have seen 1982 large state zincs before at the highest grade level. There are a few number of these that were graded at the top pop grade. So that stands the reason why that we don't see these currently trading at $3,000 to $5,000 like some of the other tougher dates. The next one that we have here is a surprising inclusion this week. 1956 Philadelphia struck Lincoln Wheat Cent. This one grades out a mid-state 67 plus full red, which is the top grade for the state. However, there's a CAC green bean on there, ladies and gentlemen. What that does is it really solidifies this particular grade that's assigned to the coin. That's great news. A lot of the registry set folks, they want that additional security that their coin is graded at the top level. All right, and because of that, this coin right here, which by the way, I don't know if you guys were sleeping under a rock recently, but a lot of Philadelphia 1950s Lincolns have been shooting to the moon and back. This particular one sold for $12,099.38. One of our first 5-digit coins of the week. We also have this 1950D Lincoln Wheat Cent. Now, this particular one right here is graded by Mid-State 67 plus, full red by PCGS. It is also another CAC coin. You're going to see a little bit of extra information on the label. This one says Whispering Pines, which is actually a collection of fine graded Lincoln cents. This is one of a few that did sell here this past week. Now, this particular one was paired up to another coin that did sell at the same grade. And it also had a CAC sticker, but the price difference was pretty big. This one right here, with the Whispering Pines name to it, sold for $2,531.25. All the while, the non-Whispering Pines 67 plus version of the same coin sold for about $800 less. So it could be the name. I'm not particularly familiar with the Whispering Pines collection. It could be just a really high-end registry set that's being dissolved. But, you know, if you have two coins at the same grade with the CAC sticker on both, you know, obviously the provenance plays a huge role here on this sale. Here's a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent. Okay, this is a pretty big graded coin, albeit graded by NGC in a 68 red. Now, I could only imagine how much this coin would be worth if it was graded by PCGS. Kind of like the gold standard of coin grading, and it matters the most to registry set folks. So this one right here, while it's a bomb of a grade, doesn't necessarily mean that it'll command the most amount of money. Like this one, you would think would be thousands of dollars, but this one ended up hammering for $1,527.75. Now, we did end up the Lincoln cent denomination coins here before we head to nickels with a number of back-to-back just enormously crazy examples. And you wouldn't think that any of these coins would be like anything spectacular, even with at such high grades, you know, high graded 30s Lincolns, especially toward the later end of that decade. You know, we've seen some sell for in that $2,000 to $5,000 range for a great, capable registry set example. So it is more than surprising when I came across this 38S. All right, there are a number of San Francisco minted 30s coins that are just overall very well struck. And at the same token, not particularly rare. Now, this one is a mid-state 68. We all know it's going to go into a registry set. But how about this for a sale? $14,062.50 was the final sale on this one. And again, it was a shocker. I saw it. I'm like, wow. You know, I know I've seen 67 pluses hit that $2,000 to $5,000 range, depending on if it had a CAC sticker on it or not. This one, right, you know, it took me on a little bit of a mental ride here. And the same goes for this one here. Now, it's not a branch mint, a Denver, or a San Fran. 38p. Great collections notes. A little bit of toning on this one. So it's got some nice gold tones to kind of cross over into that red. This one, same grade, 68 red through PCGS, but I can only imagine if either of these two coins had a CAC sticker on it, my goodness, what will they end up at? So the 38p that you see here did sell for $10,125. Again, another kind of like head shaker, head scratching kind of coin. Who would have thought that these particular coins would hit this kind of stride? All right, and a 37S, okay, same verse as the 38S, not particularly rare. You could find a very nice, clean, kind of like mid-state 65 example for not a ton of money. All right, so we got this one here in a 68 red, which is undeniably the top grade. And we have another huge sale here at $21,937.50. And the final 1 cent denomination coin of the week. We had 8 powerhouses this week. A 32D. All right, this is the earliest as it gets. There was an 09S VDB that sold for right around $30,000. But the 32D, quite a tough grade, tough date. CAC stickered in a 67 plus red. CAC really loved what they looked at when they were auditing this coin. And it's a favorite of mine. Okay, there's a lot to love with the early 30s coins because the type style of a few of the numbers and the date are completely different compared to anything else you see from 1934 and beyond. So this one right here, get this, you would figure who in the right mind has this kind of money? $29,418.75. I'm going to have to take a closer look at some of my 32Ds to ensure I'm not overlooking what could possibly be a high price gem. All right, now we're on the nickels and kind of like a 180-degree kind of change up here. We have more newer dates that we're going to highlight here on the nickels. How about 93p out of it all? All right, so a lot of these are generally very well struck. So finding one with full steps should not be an issue. This one grades out PCGS Mint State 67 with full steps. That looks every bit the part of that, by the way, even with these photos. It's also got the QA quality seal on there, which is very similar to CAC, but QA is a company that does more modern stuff. So this one right here, again, probably tailored to a registry set. And this one ended up selling for $1,388.25. Again, it's mind-blowing. Who would think that a coin that's barely 30 years old, one like this, that'd be worth that kind of money? And an 86p, another great one here in a 67 full steps. It just doesn't have, quite the zing or the overall satiny finish as the previous coin, but that's okay. We know that these coins begin to get a little bit tough, the closer you get to 1980. This one here does appear to have great full steps on there. You could tell the difference in the strike of quality, even though it's 7 years apart. This one right here sold for $2,025. And again, it's going to go into a registry set. 1984D. Now this one is highlighted with some pretty nice toning. This one looks like it came out of an older Dansko album. It just has the kind of coloring, the pastel yellows and magentas in there. That is something that I normally see coming out of a Dansko toner kind of scenario. This one right here is a mid-state 67 plus with full steps. Great looking coin. Again, it's a period of time where, the quality can be really good or it can be really bad. All right. We've seen kind of like both ends of the spectrum here. So this one right here ended up selling for quite a sum of money. $4,563. Again, another head shaker, another head scratching moment on one of these coins that, $4,000 to $5,000 84D. You could figure you could get 2 double eagle gold $20 pieces for the amount of money that this one sold for. Again, the rationality here with the registry set market is unfathomable. We also have a 57D, a little bit tougher. Now we're getting into a period here where the quality is really, really, really not great, which also leads to a lot of extra hunting. You got to use your eyeballs a little bit better. You got to find that loop that performs a little bit better. This one right here, Mid State 67 full steps, is a really great grade for this one. And because of that, this one ended up selling for $2,694.38. Try and find another one like it. It's going to be really tough. And we also have a 46S. Now, when we get into the 40s, the quality's better. So a lot of these are generally very well struck and they have above average luster. And it's evident here on this one. Mid-State 67 full steps is kind of the grade you need to be at on this one for it to be equitable. Again, we're kind of gambling here if we're expecting to send these type of coins out to a grading company. 67 is that fine line drawn in the sand. If it's anything less than that, there's not a whole lot of safety net that'll save you in the case that you do flame out here. So this one right here sold for $2,307.43. And we also have a 43p. Silver Wartime nickels are the hottest thing going right now for the same reason why that the Lincoln Steel 43s are also on that kind of that save wavelength. The coins, because of their unique compositions and the fact that it's World War II kind of specimen, these are all coins that are being more collected today across all different grade levels. I've seen the prices jump anywhere from, a minuscule 5, 6, 7% on a lot of the lower end type stuff to as high as 100%. That's how crazy World War II off composition coins are these days. This one right here, blistering 68 full steps. And Civil War composition coins from 42 to 45 are all very generally well struck. And, that's why we see 68 as being the grade that you need when you're out grading these things. Now, this one right here sold for $5,062.50. And we do have this one. This is quite a unique piece, so pay close attention here. I'm only going to say this once. 30 AD is not a phenomenal date. A lot of these were hoarded at the highest grade level because folks understood that we have a changeover. This is going to be it for the Buffalo nickel design. The new Jefferson nickel was coming out. So there were two coins that were being produced between 1937 at some point after the summer into the 38 season. However, this one right here in a Mid-State 65, if it was graded any other way than being one of the first 400 coins graded by PCGS, would just be about an $80 coin. But this one right here is in an OGH first gen Rattler with the white label. And it's also got the code that begins in 108. So when you have that, that's part of the first 400 coins that were ever graded by PCGS. Now, this is more of a play on I'm collecting the holder and not the coin. That's what we're looking at here. Some people would say, well, collect the coin, not the holder. This one is a complete, again, reversal of fortunes. If you did come across one of these, I would buy it at just about any price under $1,000. And that's not just for 38 Buffalo nickels. That's for any coin that you find in an old PCGS Rattler white label. This one even has a CAC gold sticker as well, for crying out loud. So this one right here, again, a measly $80 coin in a 65 grade, sold for $11,880. Again, this is all the minutia of the grading fanboys out there. They want things like this. And there's just so few of them. So people are willing to open up that checkbook, open up that wallet, pull out more money than usual to own something like this, in spite of what the coin looks like on the inside. We also have a few dimes, and boy, they're awesome. How about this 58D? That's just an absolute rainbow of color on both sides of the coin. This is more of the artistic kind of power play on the sale here than it is the numismatic side. It's a 68 full bands, PCGS graded. I'm sure it's got a really lights out true view image on their website. This one right here is sold for $2,025. Roosevelt dimes, in case you guys haven't seen, getting lots of love here lately, but that's more of the colorful coin type. And it's awesome to see. I'm glad to see this one kind of burgeoning out there. And there's also some news that the Mint is redesigning the Roosevelt dime for 2026 for the 250th anniversary of our country. But they're also considering doing a static, different new design after the 2026 date. So we're going to see maybe a little bit of a resurgence in this coin. We're already seeing that to a certain extent. But I think that, we ought to pay closer attention to Roosevelt dimes after this kind of 2026 date. Things are going to pick up business wise, and it's going to be great to see. 1951D, okay, this one right here, also on the board for a little bit of color. It's more kind of like the rustic rust color to it. And, still lots of love, a great grade in the 68 full bands, and a little bit tougher date as well. $2,026.14. Sold by more than $1 compared to the previous coin. It's going to be a matter which one would you own. It really depends. This one here, more of the numismatic powerhouse registry coin. The previous coin is just pure toning bliss. Whatever you decide, both great coins. 1940 Mercury dime, another awesome coin right here. I mean, it's great to see a very common date. This is a very common date. It's not hard to find a full bands coin. I believe I've owned like a mid-state 67 or 67 plus of this date, and it's surprisingly not that expensive. It's like $100 coin. So here we have one that's a 68 plus full bands, CAC certified, which they honestly believed this is a full 68 plus full bander. All the more power to them. That's a huge, huge boon for the owner of the coin. Well, anyways, this one hammered at $11,812.50. Again, a very common date. And we do have a few quarters. How about 94D? Much like we talked about the Washington or the Jefferson Nichols, rather. This one has a necessity for a registry set. This one is a 67 plus. Again, it's a coin that some people wouldn't think would be worth spending over $1,000 for, but yet this one actually ended up selling for 2.5 times that at $2,524.50. And I said it once and I'll say it again. This is bar none one of the toughest Washington quarter dates beyond 1964 that you will ever try and find. A lot of these suffered from just poor quality, poor luster quality, bad planchet quality before the strike. This one right here, however, has some extra personality with some color on both sides. You gotta love it. So a 67 plus was what this one ended up earning itself through PCGS. And some people really don't realize how expensive this coin is. This one ended up selling for $4,278.50. Raw examples I typically sell for about $20 a piece. That's how tough it is. People will pay more for a really nice high quality 69 Philly than anything else. Here's a 50D. This is just that old school. This looks like 75-year-old toning. Not gonna lie, it's just that kind of like crusty russet brown and gold and various other kind of like color that looks like it built up over the course of 6-7 decades. This one right here, 68. The toning, obviously a really great highlight here on this one. It is such a big coin. All right, there aren't too many of them that grade out this high. Anyways, this one sold for $9,281.25. And then finally, we also have a candy half dollar. Man, look at this one. Now, copper nickel clad doesn't really tone all that great. Yet we have this one here that's probably one of the best looking, very subtle colored Kennedys that you will ever lay eyes on. 82D with like blues and purples. This is like a like a level 5 or 6 in the toning progression. because, beyond this, it gets kind of more terminal, more dark, more grisly looking. Not a look that people adore. But this one right here is absolutely amazing. 67 plus, a nice high grade here. Toning really gets a lot of credit here for the value on this one at $3,826.12. Ooh, well, guys, what do you think? That was awesome. Great list of coins. Again, the information provided in this video is for educational use only, not financial advice. Please do collect and or grade responsibly if you're going to be doing this stuff. And that's it. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to check out more of my content. We'll be uploading more frequently here toward the tail end of the summer. And I really want to take some time to, give you guys a shout out. I really do appreciate your guys' fellowship here of my content. And I know I haven't been around as much as I'm battling the kind of like this voice thing that I'm going through right now. But we did pretty damn good in this video, so I'll take it. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Again, I'm Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I hope to see you guys on a future video. You guys take care, keep on collecting, and I will see you soon.